the straight line, not the curve line. So that is my grain line on there always. And then I'm just going to add my seam allowance, follow the shape round here because this is shaped as well, our design. And then we're going to have centimetre around the armhole. We're just going to shape that in. And then we do centimetre down the side. You know, you've got to be very, you know, it takes years of knowing how to get these seam allowance on. You know, after doing it for so long, you know exactly the amount by doing it freehand. Okay, so that is your back, and this is your cowl. This is your cowl piece that sits when that's folded back. That's the facing, folded back like that. It goes into there and it sits into here and it drapes and form your cowl in there. So that is your back. So this is back, and you're going to cut 2 of those. So that is your back section, your 2 back section done. So once you've done that, you just cut that out, and the next thing we're going to do, or we cut that out after, we're going to just create. We put those pieces, we've got them. We now, you still got your blocks, you're not cut up anything from your blocks. There we've got the blocks, and we've done the cowl bit, we've done the main bit, and now we're going to do this bit, the bottom of the skirt. So once again, now you copy that off on another sheet of paper. So I always never, as I said, cut up your block, your draft that you're doing. We're going to trace that off. We're going to trace this off, and we're going to come down where we've come in, and we're going to come across the bottom. So that's the piece that we have along here. We can put that away on the side, and then I'm going to just trace that, straighten up these lines, put them on, and then we come across the bottom, a nice run. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to separate this into 3 sections, because I want to slash and open it out. So once we've done that, that's the back. We can write on there center back, and then you know that is the back section. We cut that shape out. Once we cut that shape out like that along there, this, you've got to remember, this has got no seam whatsoever on. So at the end of creating the pattern piece, we have to add the seam allowance. So we're going to open this out to like a half circle or a quarter circle. So another sheet of paper, I'm going to fold the paper like that. So this will be now my center back edge. So I'm going to cut up on this line. Make sure that's cut off at the bottom. So we're going to cut down on this line to the bottom, actually, and we're going to cut, let's do it from the bottom up actually. We do it from the bottom up because we don't want this section to get bigger, because it's got to fit the other piece that we've done. So we're going to cut up on these pieces going up that way. So we can label them 1, 2, and 3. So we then place the first one onto the fold edge like that. And we're just going to open them out, even space. Once again, if you sellotape it on so that your hands are free. And we're going to open out like that. Whoops, let's take that off. Sorry, let's get that stick on properly so that our hands are free. So that goes right up to the number 1, goes right up to the edge. Then you open number 2, then you open number 3. But as you can see, the spacing are even. So I'm going to open it to a quarter circle, half a circle, like that. I'm going to open it till it comes right around like that. So I'm getting even space in, and I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to place it onto my fold edge, and I'm going to make sure that to get my my circle, my quarter circle, my half circle, it touches my ruler. So it's closed there, open evenly along there, and it's touching my ruler, and it's squared, so I know I'm okay. So once that's squared off and it's touching my ruler, I know I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to mark a little bit of there, a little bit of there, and a little bit of there, and then I'm going to do a little bit at the top as well along there. Make sure I'll leave my ruler at that point and make sure it's touching like that. Can we see that? Like that. And I'm going to do a little bit there and a little bit here. Don't worry about the broken lines. We're going to do it a nice curve along there. So it's along there and along here. So once I've done that, I'm going to move it away and I'm going to draw my line onto there. Touch that like that. I'm going to move these away, 1, 2, and 3. Those are the bottom bit. And now I'm going to just get a nice curve onto there like that, round there, and then from that end I'm going to curve it so it touches there, touch there, touch there, touch there, and touch there. So that is my bottom at the back. Then you just put your seam allowance on, and then after you put your seam allowance on, you've got to measure this to make sure that that fits onto this bit here. So whatever that is, from here to here with no seam on, this line has to be the same. So you've got to check the measure and make sure that they fit. Then you just add your seam allowance, 1/4 inch. You only need that much around the hem of your skirt, the skirt section. And then we're just going to put our grain line on. You can use 2 grain line, one going that way and one going that way. And once you've got that, that is your hem skirt. And you're going to cut 1, and it's the back. And what we do is we're going to just put a notch there to indicate that is our back, and then we cut out the shape. So I'm just going to cut out these 2 shapes. Don't forget, for a cutout, we've got to put your seam allowance in here because this has got to fit on here. So what we do is we've got to measure before we cut out anything. Make sure we get the same measurement along here into that curve that we've got. So whatever this is, we've got to make sure that this is the same. So I like to stand the tape measure up so that we know that it's the same. Okay, and then once it's the same, you can cut out. If it's not the same, you can add a bit more on there to make sure it's the same before you cut out. It might just be a little bit, you know, little bit smaller. So this is why we say make sure you check it before you cut it out, because if you don't check it, and when you cut it out in the fabric and you go to stitch it, you'll find that it won't fit, and that's because you never check it. If you did check, then you know at that time you could add a bit more in there. So that is now your back bit for your skirt, and then we're going to cut this one out, and that is the front. That is the back, sorry, the back body bit, and then we go on to the front along there. So this is the side. I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to cut these bits out so that you can just see exactly the back section which is done along here. So we cut out the neck section here, along here, and then once we've got that cut out, we can go on to the front. So these are the back section. We've got our notches in where we want the gathers to start on the armhole, and we follow that shape round. So we got a little bit of shaping in the waist there, because we've taken some of the dart out. That is the back that goes onto here, that fits onto here, and you'll find that it will fit on to there like that, and it comes down like that. So that is your side, and then that flutes into there. So that is that piece there, and this is your back cowl bit, which goes into there and round and sits into there, and then drapes for your cowl. So that is your back area. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go on to the front bodies. So we're going to break and come back to do the front section. Bye bye. I hope you're following, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe and comment. Thank you very much. See you soon. We'll be back. Bye. Speak to you soon. Bye.